We'll return after these messages.
You can take a bite, take an alphabet's bite. You can taste a bunch of letters that go crunch.
Alphabets, all right.
But take care, there's a mad microchip out to get you over there.
He's flipped. How on hip?
You can sip that drip when you bite the word chips.
You can take a bite.
Bite a C.
You can take a bite.
Bite an H, bite an I.
You can take a bite.
Bite a P. If you want to start the day with a breakfast you can play.
You can take a bite of post-alphabet cereal.
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
It's yummy.
Ronald McDonald in
Way Out Desserts.
Up on the planet of Lot, where it's always hot, kids didn't have cool desserts.
That hurts, but McDonald's desserts are so cool and so neat. Even up here, they'll be a delicious treat. The kids love them all. Shakes, sundaes, and cones.
Ronald brought lots to share, and he found kids are the same everywhere. It's a good time for the great taste.
You're welcome.
Don't pout, check it out. Zach's gonna show you what work's about.
It's the blob, it's the blob.
I am the future blob.
Without a job, without a job.
I am the future blob.
What can I do?
No need to panic, no need to get scared. You can make the future by being prepared. Ask, what do I like to do? What jobs are suited to me?
I like to skate. I like to go bowling. But my favorite hobby is cutting and sewing.
You can get going, plan a business sewing. It's your job, your future job. There are many jobs you can train for. Seamstress tailor, costume designer, alterations, pattern maker.
I am the blob, the future blob.
It's no blob when you plan for a job. Don't be afraid, make a career and get paid. Do your job, plan for a future job, and you won't fear the mean of future blob.
Hi, this is Dick Clark. Be sure to cast a final vote later today as we take a last look at this year's American Bandstand Dance Contest. You'll love it. Friday at 8:30, 7:30 Central, join Tony Danza and Mary Lou Retton for the Saturday Sneak Peek and Fun Fit Test. This is ABC.
Skeletor is trying to take over Castle Grayskull. By the power of Grayskull!
What happens next? You can find out on the new He-Man Cups at Burger King. There's a different He-Man comic strip cup every week until September 9th when you buy a Burger King meal pack.
At Burger King.
The Burger King meal pack is filled with a juicy hamburger or cheeseburger, regular fries, and a soft drink.
Aren't you hungry for Burger King now?
General Hospital's Jake, Monday, 9 a.m. on 7.
Go, mighty Warbots. They're joining together to fight for what's right everywhere. Mighty Warbots, protecting the world from the shadow of evil and doom. Warbots, champions of justice and truth. Oh no!
Four.
Wow! Boom!
French. Go, mighty Warbots, mechanical heroes and fighters will be you. Warbots.
We'll return after these messages.
Alone with Fruit Chewy Newton's cookies.
Janie.
New Blueberry Newtons.
I know you've got the Newtons.
New Cherry Newtons, too.
And you're in the closet.
So Fruit Chewy.
Okay, you're not in the closet.
You want them for yourself.
Which leaves only one place.
Delicious Newton's cookies. Fig and apple, too. So Fruit Chewy. You want them for yourself.
Can we talk money?
Nabisco.
You can pretend.
Stealing powers where she's at, a very wild but pretty cat. That's Catra. And here's lovely Frosta, true blue friend of Shira.
Dolls each sold separately.
When Catra shows her catty side, Frosta can freeze her in stride. The fate of the world's in the hands of these beautiful girls. Princess of power.
Catra and Frosta dolls each sold separately. Shira doll also sold separately. New from Mattel.
Win this one, and there's Nestle Quick for everyone.
Quick? Nestle Quick? So chocolatey, so rich and thick. I gotta have you, Nestle Quick! Yeah! Quick, I'm coming home!
It works every time.
Can you resist Nestle Quick?
Super golden crisp. Rocks in the box, rolls in the bowl, and the taste is solid gold.
All those golden pops of wheat got a crunch just crisp and bold. Gets me moving and a grooving with a taste of solid gold.
Post Super Golden Crisp cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast with a taste that's solid gold.
Where are you going with those stripes?
That's new Aquafresh for kids. Just follow me.
Toothpaste. I hate to brush.
New Aquafresh for kids makes brushing fun. It's got a zingy new taste kids love. Fluoride too, and it's easy to pump and has a neat top.
Great, but how are you going to get those stripes in there?
Watch. New Aquafresh for kids. I make brushing fun.
Next Saturday morning,
Did you hear?
the Ewoks are coming,
I knew that.
and they're falling out for great fun.
Hey, you guys, wait for me.
Catch them at their best in a playground full of surprises. Then it's Back to the Future with Troy.
And Miss Grateful.
There, the incredible adventure continues with C-3PO.
Just as I suspected, Doctor.
And R2-D2.
Oh, my goodness.
Then it's Scooby-Doo and his friendly crew with a scary secret especially for you. The demon chest will reveal it's true, the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Next Saturday morning, don't miss all the wonderful excitement with the Ewoks, droids, and the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
You'll love it.
We now continue with Mighty Orbots. We'll return after these messages.
Alan, drink your Ovaltine. It has vitamins and minerals.
Oh, do I have to?
It's got a new chocolatey taste.
I can't get over Ovaltine. It's so delicious now. It tastes fantastic. Wow, it's a whole new scene. Ovaltine. I can't get over Ovaltine. I can't get
Ovaltine, the whole new taste you won't get over.
I can't get Ovaltine.
Also available in sugar-free.
Extra sugar-free gum with NutraSweet.
Extra flavor, extra fun in a sugar-free gum.
Extra sugar-free gum with NutraSweet gives you extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long trail. Extra flavor for that extra long sail. Wrigley's Extra, the extra fresh flavor lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra last, extra long.
Next Saturday, blast off into adventure with the Superpowers team. Join Superman, Firestorm, and Cyborg as they battle galactic monsters.
Destroy them now.
It's the brand new adventures of the Superpowers team next Saturday.
Captain O.G. Reedmore here. An ordinary sidewalk on an ordinary day. But did you ever stop to think that you could get away? Take a journey on a rocket. Take a voyage on a ship. Just read a book and off you go, because reading is a trip. Explore a tropic jungle. Ooh. Discover distant planets. Or reach the glacier's tip. Just read a book and off you go, because reading, yes, is a trip.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Weekend's coming up. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be a busy night. I don't imagine this is going to be a very long live stream. But as a lot of you guys know, I have been going over and familiarizing myself with the Karen Reed case, the murder of John O'Keefe, Officer John O'Keefe. And we are going to we're going to go over a theory of mine that I've developed, because I've been very, very involved here. I have to be honest. I have been very, very interested in everything that I've been finding out. And I got to tell you, I've been just racking my brain, because, you know, the thing that the prosecution has over the defense in this case. And again, I want to be very clear. You know, I want to go into this. I decided to go into this with a very open mind. I wanted to hear look at all the evidence that was made available to us. I still haven't gone over it all, but I'm still going over quite a bit of it. And I think I one thing that the prosecution has had in favor, as far as my opinion goes, has been that they established a motive for Karen Reed. That, you know, they were breaking up, or that she was, you know, unhappy with the relationship, and that, you know, according to Jennifer McCabe, she didn't see anything suspicious, but then threw that little bit of shade at the end of that statement there, saying that kids being involved in the relationship makes it hard, which is kind of a shitty thing to say, you know, when you think about it. But then, you know, when you look at Jennifer McCabe and you just really put a microscope on her, looking at all the stuff that we have, there's some interesting things that I'm seeing. And it's such an exact statement, isn't it? You know, it's such a specific, exact statement that's all she said, and that's all that was put into the statement. Now, maybe Jennifer McCabe actually said more, and that was all that the trooper decided to put into the statement. But, you know, to say, no, everything is great, everything's wonderful, you know, I didn't see any trouble. I didn't see any reason for them to have I didn't see any reason to think that there was any trouble in the relationship, except she did say, and you know, it just seems really strangely placed. What's up, Killshot? Good to see you, buddy. And big shout out to Mistaken Reaper. Sorry, man. Remember, I cleared all my wrenches, and then I just realized, oh shit, I had Mistaken Reaper had a wrench on this channel. So you have your wrench back. Sorry about that, buddy. So, but I've been looking. Today I was going through a lot of this stuff, and I was pretty, like, you know, just kind of confused. And then I started to develop a theory, and I started looking into that a little bit more. And I gotta say, now again, it's just a theory, and it's only based on, and I'm gonna do something here that when I cover crime cases, folks, it's something that I don't normally do. It's really not anything that I normally do. And I'm almost kind of glad that there's not a lot of people in here, because I don't. This is a little outside of my character. But the thing is there's never this much evidence made available. There's never these many documents made available for me to develop a theory, because I don't think it's responsible to speculate when you don't have enough information to make any responsible speculations on. But I thought about this, and I think it's a pretty sound theory. Bear with me, okay? So one of the things that took place. Okay, let me just refresh here. So you have John O'Keefe meeting Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Nicole Albert, and I guess what's his name? God damn it. I'm really bad with names, people, so they slip my mind quite a bit. But Junior, the whose birthday they were celebrating, right? They were all at this waterfall club, this waterfall bar and grill, and what's up, Sleuthy Goosey? Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad you're here, Sleuthy, because again, I feel as though I've been racking my brain trying to think of a possible motive for no, not Colin Albert, a possible motive for anyone else. Brian Albert, thank you, Brian Albert, not Ryan, but Brian. A possible motive for anyone other than Karen, because that's what bugs me when I'm, if we're gonna throw a bunch of accusations out at a bunch of cops, especially, I'm not gonna feel comfortable doing that without a motive. That's interesting, Sleuthy Goosey. And I'm sure I'm going to come up with other theories too, but I have a theory on motive that I've developed. And mind you, people, mind you guys, I am not 100% familiar with every aspect of this case yet. This is just what I've been exposed to so far. And this is just a theory based on what I've been exposed to so far. So at any given time, remember, I'm trying to learn as I go, as I do these live streams, and I have you guys in chat to help me out here. Some of us are learning this together. Others, we are being educated by other people who have been following this case very closely, and I welcome that. So this is, yeah, well, I don't see how him, now I gotta say, Sleuthy, I don't see how he would sustain the injuries that he had via an accident. Do you think they had a motive to help protect people from getting into trouble over something that was an accident? See, it's his injuries that make me, it's the extent of his injuries that concern me, that make me not really. So one thing that I learned, let me see if I can pull this up. I want to see if I could start with. Okay. Well, how do I? There we go. All right, let me go ahead and read. This is a one of Turtle Boy's articles, okay? And I'm going to read something from here. that I can't really see chat right now when I'm reading this, but something here that I find very interesting. Upon her return, sources from inside Canton High School reported to us that on Friday, Jen McCabe brought O'Keefe's niece to orientation and is listed with the 14-year-old girl on the school's sign-in sheet. Even the teachers at Canton High School despise you, Jen, and run to us with now. Mind you, guys, keep in mind, as much as we love Turtle Boy, this is a blog, okay? So it's very biased, it's very opinionated. Bear with me, okay? But I do trust Turtle Boy's his ability to obtain information. Now again, this is very opinionated. It's a blog. It's not necessarily an article. It's a blog. So let me get through it. So try to separate the opinions from the other stuff here. Even the teachers at Canton High School despise you, Jen, and run to us with information about you. Prior to McCabe's family and friends murdering her uncle, Jesus, the teen girl was accepted into Bishop Fian, where sources tell us that John wanted her to attend high school to get away from the Canton towny lifestyle. She went there freshman year, but John's mother enrolled her and is now sending her to public school. If she attends Fian, she might meet kids from outside Canton and won't be as easy to control. Not only did Jen McCabe help kill O'Keefe by Googling how long to die in cold instead of calling 911, which is notable. She chose to get extremely close with his family afterwards in order to manipulate them. We know from her call records that she called O'Keefe's mother in the hours after he was pronounced dead. Okay, that's important right there. Why does she have John O'Keefe's mother's number? Why is she close with John O'Keefe's mother? Okay, this is going to go into my theory here. We know that her good friend Carrie Roberts goes to court dates with her or Paul O'Keefe. We know that O'Keefe's niece and nephew weren't interviewed by the police until a month after their uncle was killed, giving McCabe plenty of time to convince them that Karen Reed was a crazy drunk who killed John O'Keefe. Now, I'm not going to go on reading because it makes my point for me here. So now if this is true, okay, if this is true that that Jen McCabe brought John's nieces, who he had custody of, to this function, that means that he trusts her with them, because we all know that John O'Keefe knew Jen McCabe through the fact that their children knew each other, right? But why I there's something that bugs me about the fact that she was in contact with John O'Keefe's mother. I believe that there is reason to believe that John O'Keefe and Jen McCabe were possibly closer than they were leading on. Now, whether it was an affair or whether there was an interest between the two of them, or whether it was absolutely innocent, but Matt McCabe was uncomfortable with their dynamic. I believe one of those three are very, very possible. Now, let's look at something else here. Let's look at the call log. Let's look at Jen McCabe's call log. Okay? Indulge me. Just indulge me here. Now, right here, you've got, I'm going to take myself out of this right here. So at 12:14 a.m., this is all on the 29th, the morning the morning hours of when John O'Keefe died. So you're seeing 12:14 a.m. text to John from Jennifer. Now, this is all Jennifer McCabe's call logs, right? This is all her outgoing, incoming calls and texts to and from. Okay, and it is organized here from the date, time, incoming or outgoing, with whom, whether it's a text or a call, whether it was answered or not, and the length of time of the calls, and whether or not, this is very important, whether or not they were deleted. Okay. Now, right here, 12:29, 12:14 a.m., incoming call from John, or an incoming text from John. John texts her, and then Jen calls him back. The call lasts 44 seconds. Now, the text right here was not deleted, okay? But the call was. Why was the call deleted? See, I find this extremely interesting. Why was the call deleted? Now, again, you're going to see a pattern here. Incoming, you see John O'Keefe, an incoming call from John O'Keefe, and it was answered, and it was a 36-second call, and that was also deleted. Again, now, an outgoing text to John O'Keefe at 12:27, right? And then it was not deleted. It was a text, so it was not deleted. 12:29:44, John O'Keefe, call. It was outgoing, so she was calling John. It lasted 8 seconds. Yes. Okay, it was deleted. Now, mind you, during this time, he is with Karen, okay? This is the only thing that kind of messes with my theory here, because he was actually with Karen during this time. He was sitting in the car with her, right? But why is she deleting those calls? I mean, she's deleting a lot that goes on in this night. Look, I mean, deleted. No, yes, yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, 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 yes. It just goes on and on. Look at all this deleted yeses over here on the end here. Look at all these deleteds. Look at all this. Now, this goes on and on, but there is clearly a pattern here, okay? You're going to see that the text messages are not deleted, but the calls are deleted. Every call between her and John O'Keefe, whether outgoing or incoming, is deleted. The texts are not, but every call is, okay? By the time it gets to 12:45 a.m., Jennifer allegedly observes the black SUV out front and then pull away, right? So this is the most crucial time here. Now, outgoing call. Okay? She tries to call him. He does not answer. Okay? Again, tries to call, no answer. Tries to call, no answer. 3 times. And all 3 are deleted. The texts, not deleted. Okay? Now, people, when you're cheating, okay? Now, I'm not proud of it, but I have cheated on a significant other in the past. And the reason why I don't cheat is because it's a lot of work. I've done it before. It's never worth it. So, make sure that you find somebody who you're willing to stay in a relationship with, not because you don't want to be alone. That's a bad idea. But somebody who you really want to be in a relationship with, and it's just not worth it to go through the kind of shit of deleting texts or calls or blah, 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 blah. You don't want to do that. It is absolutely exhausting. It's not worth it. The best thing to do is just find a significant other that you love, and it's just not worth it doing that with, because they give you everything that you could possibly need in every which possible way, including emotionally, especially emotionally. Now, moving on. When you cheat, okay? When you cheat, what happens is you have to be real careful about what you say in a text, right? Because then you have to go through the texts and you have to delete them. And then you have to delete them. And then there's you got to look out for timestamps, because if you've got a really smart significant other, they're going to catch those timestamps. I feel bad for any dude who cheats on any woman in this chat who follows true crime. God help them, because y'all are going to catch him. But I'm saying you got to do all this. It's a lot. But phone calls are safe, right? But because you can't read the phone calls. Your significant other gets a hold of your phone. They can't read the phone calls. All they can do is see if there was a call going in or out to or from this person, right? But if you delete the calls, well, then it never happened. And all you have are texts. Look, our relationship is completely and totally innocent. Look at the texts. Yeah, show me where it says something about me doing this or that, and blah, 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 blah. Right? Why are the calls deleted, but the texts aren't? Now, that's a pretty risky and volatile situation. That's a pretty risky, volatile, possibly volatile situation when two people are involved in an inappropriate relationship, an inappropriate meaning because the woman is married and the man has a significant other. And they're already supposedly having problems. Now, I don't know about the relationship between Matt and Jennifer. I have no idea. But apparently, there was trouble in paradise when it came to Karen and John. Okay? You guys with me here? You guys with me? Now, what if Karen is annoyed, right? This is just speculation here, folks. What if at the bar, the more she drinks, the more she sees and senses the vibe going on between Jennifer and John? Karen's not stupid, okay? And she can just sense that there's something there, right? This is where what happens a lot in these type of cheating relationships, where the person who's being cheated on senses this, and then the person who's cheating is usually a piece of shit, abusive asshole, and then gaslights you and says, hey, you're crazy. You're crazy. No, man, I know what the fuck what do you of course, it's easy to call them crazy because it's just a feeling. They're not giving away anything obvious. But there's a vibe. There's a vibe. And what if this was taking place at the waterfall, right? She was getting annoyed. And then Karen says, well, you know what? I don't feel good. I don't even want to go in there. Or maybe that's just what she told someone else. Or maybe that's what her attorneys said to say after the fact. And I'm going to get to that too. You guys are saying, wait, what? Hold on. Bear with me. So what if at the waterfall, there's a vibe that's pretty obvious? The more you drink, the less inhibited you are, and the less you think, the more cocky you are, and the less you think anybody around you is just as smart as you are, right? But think about this. Matt McCabe is there too. Matt McCabe is a cop. He's not stupid. It's his job to pick up on things. What if he's seeing this? What if he's seeing this? And what if when they finally get to this place, maybe on the way they're arguing, Karen and John are arguing, and Karen is like, I don't even want to go in there. I feel stupid. I feel like the third wheel. I don't even want to fucking go in there. Why the fuck do I want to go in there? Is Matt actually not a cop? I thought Matt was a cop. I mean, I guess he looks like a human goober. Yeah, I know. I saw this. I let's take a quick. Well, he's in the thumbnail. So why delete the calls? It makes no sense. You're deleting the texts, right? Why is Jennifer deleting the calls, but she's not deleting the texts? And she probably does hate him. He looks like a hateable guy. I mean, I'm not even going to lie, dude. Like, let me do this real quick. I mean, you know, like, he looks like a sloppy fucking drunk, you know? Like, but he also has that vibe of somebody who's just obnoxious, probably jealous as fuck. That's not her brother. Is it? That isn't Matt? Well, you're the only one telling me that's not Matt. But the thing that I got, it said that it was Matt. Hold on. Stop, because you're killing me right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Oh, okay. That might not be Matt. All right. Oh, man. Moderators, you're killing me. You're killing me. Okay, so whatever. All right. So I guess that's not Matt. I still have yet to find a picture of Matt. So I was told that was Matt. He seems elusive in photographs. So anyway, so the thumbnail's wrong too. I'll look into changing that. Thank you. So, well, technically it's not, but once this live goes up, yeah, it is. He's still in the cave. But so what I'm thinking is either way, whether their relationship is innocent or not, because it seems a little familiar. You know what I mean? Obviously, to John's main concern in life is his kids that he has adopted. John's main concern in life are the kids that he has adopted, right? And it makes sense to me that there would be an attraction between the two of them. It makes sense to me that when you have two adults who are yeah, he totally looked like a bootleg Bam Margera, totally. When you have two adults who have kids together, who have play dates, it happens. Like there becomes an attraction sometimes, and then whether you act on it or whether you don't, because things are complicated, it's, you know, things can happen. And it's almost natural for them to happen. You know, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm saying that it's almost natural. A guy who's technically a single dad of adopted kids, he's got a Mr. Drummond thing going on without all the millions, you know, and he's a single dad of adopted kids, and he's doing the best he can, and he's got a girlfriend who doesn't have any kids, and she's trying to do the best they can. Apparently, that even that morning, the morning of the 28th, they argued about what she had fed them for breakfast or something. And she doesn't have that natural maternal instinct. Now, I remember when before I was an actual father, I was a stepfather. And I was pretty strict. And I was just more concerned about, hey, you know, you got to do the right things here. It's real important that you go to school. It's real important that you do this. It's real important you get your homework done. It's real important that you clean up after yourself, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? It just escaped me to just let her be a kid so much, you know, as far as like, you know, if she was disrespectful to her mom, I'd be like, hey, you can't do that, blah, 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 you know. And then when my kid was born, it changed my entire perspective. Everything changed. My entire perspective on parenthood completely changed. And then I was just like, whoa, okay, I've been going about this all wrong. You know, because I didn't have a natural paternal instinct that could benefit my relationship with my stepdaughter at the time. I just lacked that paternal instinct. But once I obtained that paternal instinct by being a natural father, I feel like it you know, it definitely improved things. Karen didn't have this maternal instinct, right? So it makes sense that John and her trying to struggle and trying to be parents, you know, and co-parent, even though they're not married, but still in a relationship, and probably had this agreement that both of these kids are something that this is the most important thing to me. And if it's going to be the most important thing to me, it has to be the most important thing to you too. And then they struggled with this from time to time. Totally natural and understandable. But it's also natural and understandable that if there are these kids having play dates together, that the two parents that would meet up who are of opposite sex and are both heterosexual, but of opposite sex, and they get together and have their children have these play dates, and they're just kind of co-parenting in a little way, there's going to be possibly some attraction there. And then what happens? Sometimes what happens is the kids become the excuse for them to get to see each other and hang out, right? So you have the two kids, you have the kids playing together, and you know what? Get the kids together for a play date. Let's take the kids bowling, you know, and then they just get to hang out together. And like I said, it could have been very, very innocent. Probably neither one of them had any intention on cheating on their spouses, on their significant others, but there could have very well been a discomfort from Matt, who feels like, hey, I'm out there busting my ass and you're out here playing house with this guy. What the fuck? So to me, that is a possible motive. Now, one thing that bothers me though is the dog attack, because I'm also very convinced that this was a dog attack. Those injuries to his arm were absolutely a dog attack. I'm very convinced of this at this point. But since it's not Matt's dog and it's Brian's dog, where does Brian come into play? Okay, now let's go back to the call log here. Okay, so now this is also very interesting. At 2:26:37, and I think that this, I have to really look into it again because I don't understand what the prosecution's excuse for the deleted text or the deleted Google search for how long does it take for somebody to die in the cold. I don't really understand what their excuse was for that. There's some sort of techie excuse for that. But if that were the case, I feel like these two would have been at the same time. But I have to understand what their excuse was for this. But here's the thing. I see what you're saying. I'm baffled, but I'm going to talk about that for a second, or in a second. So, again, there's more outgoing calls going out to John O'Keefe, and they're deleted. Why are they deleted? Why aren't those in her statement to the police? That doesn't make sense to me. Why aren't those? I mean, it was perfectly understood that she was texting him. She admitted that she was texting back and forth with him. So what happened? What happened on those phone calls that she needed to delete them, or she felt the need to delete them? Because you still can't go back and listen to the calls. So she's basically trying to say, hey, we texted, but we didn't talk. But that's a fucking lie, because we're seeing it right here. So White Rabbits, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now she kept trying to call, and it's well known in her statement. In her statement, she was saying, I was out with Karen we were searching for John. I was driving, or Carrie was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and Karen was in the back. And while they're searching, it would make sense that Jen would be calling John. Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Where are you? Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. Right? But why delete? Oh my God, I'm having a issue here. Hold on. Now, why delete them? Because you see here on the very end, deleted, yes, 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 yes. All the calls between Jennifer and John and Jennifer and Karen are all deleted. Why? Now, I don't know who Tom Beatty is. I haven't gotten that far yet. And I don't know what it means. How long does it take to digest food? And that happens at 6:23. That happens after the fact. Now, there's another very interesting thing here. Now, you see the timestamp here, 6:07, 42 a.m., an outgoing call to Nicole Albert, and she answered, right? The call lasts for 9 seconds. 6:07, and then another one at 6:08, right? And then she answers, and it lasts 7 seconds, right? And then another call to Brian Albert, and there's no answer. Okay? So I don't know what's going on. Now, I'm not sure if Brian, if John was in the house and something happened, I'm not sure if Brian was involved. Because again, it was Brian's dog. But let me get back to the timestamps here. 6:07, Nicole Albert, she answered, and then she calls again at 6:08, and Nicole answers that too. Now, if you remember, I went over Nicole's statement yesterday. When I went over Nicole's statement yesterday, she claimed that she was not aware of anything that happened. She slept through the whole fucking thing, right? Because at 6:07, at 6:08, at 6:07 and at 6:08 a.m., there's going to be a bunch of fire trucks out there because 911 wasn't called until 6:04. Okay? 911 was not called until 6:04 a.m. And then 6:07, 6:08, how could Jennifer have been sleeping if she answered 2 calls from Jennifer McCabe? Her statement is absolute bullshit. How? Full lights and sirens, exactly. And now we're seeing that she answered, picked up 2 calls from Jennifer McCabe after 911 was called. And then she's going to sleep through all of the sirens? She's already awake. You think she fell back to sleep and was like, oh, fuck the sirens. You know, put her pillow over her head and be like, nope. That's not, there's no way. There's no fucking way. No, she was not sleeping, Becky G. She was not sleeping. And still didn't come outside, right? But how could she have answered 2 calls from Jennifer McCabe, from her sister? How could she have answered 2 calls from her sister and been sleeping at the same time? She did it in her sleep. Her phone woke her up, but the sirens and all the commotion out front, Karen yelling, being hysterical, quote unquote, didn't wake her up, but her phone did. No. No. Sorry. So let's talk about the dog. Okay. So it's Brian's dog. It doesn't add up because it's not Matt's dog, right? Why wouldn't it add up? You don't think that dog is going to protect someone that dog is familiar with? How often do you think that Brian's brother-in-law shows up to that house and hangs out? How familiar do you think that dog is with Brian's brother-in-law? Do you not think that Brian's brother-in-law, every time he comes over, he doesn't pet the dog or even possibly play with the dog? You don't think that Brian's dog would protect Matt? Now, yeah. Did I not say German Shepherd? Yes, it was a German Shepherd. And most likely trained trained the same way that German Shepherds are trained by police dogs. Why not? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't that dog be trained the same way? Let me do this real quick. Give me 1 second, folks. All right. No, I mean, I know he wasn't actually a police dog. I'm saying he's owned by a cop. Is it so far-fetched to think that a breed that is very common in police dogs wouldn't be trained the same way a police dog would if a cop just owned a German Shepherd? I mean, right. But this is a household pet owned by a cop, and it happens to be the breed that is probably the number one breed of choice for police dogs. So okay. Let's take a look at John's injuries, the nature of his injuries right here. Okay. Look at the area, the most concentrated area on his arm, right? This is the most concentrated area on his arm where those injuries are. Correct? Does anybody disagree? Now, look at this. Right here, you see a police dog being trained, okay? You see a German Shepherd being trained by a police trainer. There's only one area of his body that is protected in order to train this dog. You see that, right? There's only one area on his body that's there to train that dog. And the dog's muzzled. He's not even biting. But you see what his claws are doing? See where his paws are? That dog is doing everything he can to do damage to that trainer. Everything that he can. And he's focused right there on that one area where, in the very area, that's where his paws are right now, in the very area where John O'Keefe's injuries to his arm are the most concentrated. Paws on each side of the elbow to control the arm. Thank you, Sleuthy Goosey. It is just plain naive and borderline ignorant to think that this was not a dog attack. To think that this was not a dog attack. Yeah, I don't read emails mostly. I think I think he was bitten on the elbow. That's what I think. I mean, but the thing is why are there's a question the question is why are there's a few questions here, but why are Brian Albert and Nicole Albert lying? Simple. To protect family. It's Nicole's sister and her brother-in-law. You don't think that Brian and Matt are tight? That they're homies, buddies? I mean, why wouldn't he protect? Why wouldn't they protect them? Why are they lying? Because they're clearly lying. We just saw the proof. That's not that's not theory right there. That's proof. But if I had to guess, if I'm speculating and I am theorizing, I'd say that Matt McCabe has the most motive. I mean, dude, you guys never seen the movie Little Children? That's the best example I could give you. There's a movie called Little Children with Patrick Wilson, Kate Winslet. They're both married, you know, and Patrick Wilson's a stay-at-home dad, Kate Winslet's a stay-at-home mom. And their kids start playing together. Next thing you know, he's got her on top of the washing machine. just hammering nails, you know. I mean, and it built up and built up and built up until it was a breaking point for them. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying it's not far-fetched to think that that's the case. It's not crazy to think that that's what happened. And it's even less crazy to think that Matt would be uncomfortable with their dynamic, even if it were innocent. It would not be far-fetched. It would not be inconceivable that Matt would be somehow feel threatened by their dynamic. Well, he's got to be out there at work all day, not knowing what the fuck his wife is doing all day long. And she's kicking it with pretty boy John O'Keefe. And their kids are playing together. He's playing dad while he's at work. Yeah, that's my next move, none of your business. Because again, like I said, I was racking my brain trying to think of a motive here. And now some of you might be thinking, well, why hasn't the defense presented this motive? I'll tell you why. In theory, of course, it's a bad move. Because the thing is if you present this motive, no, I'm already in touch with them, none of your business. Thank you, though. If you're already, if this theory is sound, okay, and I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it's just a working theory that I've been playing with all day long today. Looking at the data, that's what I'm thinking. There you go, sleuthy goosey. Ding, 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 ding. You win. The reason why the defense is probably not using this to point motive at prosecution is that adds to the motive that they're already throwing at Karen. The motive that they're trying to convince the judge, the jury, everyone else that the defendant has is jealousy. Not necessarily jealousy, but a rocky relationship. Now you add jealousy to that rocky relationship, it strengthens the motive against the defendant. That's exactly what would happen, Sleuthy Goosey. Exactly why Karen did it. That's exactly why Karen did it. There's no proof that Matt did it. We've got the broken tail light. Blah, 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 blah. It could easily be twisted around. But right now, that's where I'm at. Right now, I'm thinking this was a Matt McCabe thing. And Jennifer McCabe is the common denominator in all of this. Because I don't think that it is even remotely inconceivable that Matt McCabe would attack. Like, let's say Matt McCabe and John O'Keefe got into an altercation, and that dog is there who already has a history of attacking people, right? That dog is going to protect the person that dog is the most familiar with. It's going to protect family. So here's Matt beating the shit out of John O'Keefe. And on top of that, in the commotion of things, the dog's instinct is to attack the person that Matt McCabe is fighting with. So John O'Keefe is protecting himself like this while he's getting the shit kicked out of him by Matt McCabe. That is absolutely my theory so far. So far. Need more information. Need to look at the information a bit more. But that's what makes exactly the most sense to me. And Brian and Nicole are just fucking lying to protect them. Because the dog is evidence, Mama Bear. You're saying, then why is the dog in hiding? Because the dog is evidence. Dude, if it's between family and my dog, if it's between like my brother-in-law, that's probably my best friend, going to prison, my wife's sister, like his wife, no matter what, even if it's not an easy choice for him, his wife is probably going, yo, this is my sister and her husband. Get rid of the fucking dog. Easy choice. Even if it's difficult for him. Yeah, no, the dog's nowhere to be found. Chloe's the name of the dog. The dog's nowhere to be found. The dog all of a sudden just disappears. They got rid of the dog and refused to say where the dog is. And on top of this, I mean, why? No, I haven't gotten there. I haven't gotten to any of the forensics in the case yet, Sleuthy Goosey. I have not looked over that stuff. And I got to tell you, that's, you don't think this is my strong suit? That's definitely not my strong suit. Right. I did hear Karen's defense team say this, what you're talking about. I did hear Karen's defense team go over this. Yeah, like now I don't want to go over like I don't want to go over rumors. Annie is okay. Like I don't want to mess with that stuff. I can't. Yeah. Like this is a theory based on stuff that's basically confirmed. The nature of nobody knew Karen. Nobody really knew her. They met her a couple times at best. Right? But John and Jen had a dynamic. Their kids hung out together. And this probably, I mean, something possibly happened. Think about it. And, I don't like to disrespect a victim, because don't think that I am, but I also like to be realistic when it comes to victims too. Now, who knows? What if when John got into that house, there was some sort of like something happened? Maybe Matt caught the two of them talking and saying something. Maybe he caught them doing something and he fucking lost it. Because he's not going to attack his wife. He's going to attack the guy. Right? Because what if John feels a lot more comfortable in that environment with Jen, thinking that thinking that Matt's in another part of the house, because he doesn't, I mean, Karen's not with him. Karen didn't come in with him. He's a lot less inhibited. He's significantly less inhibited in that environment with another woman that he's attracted to. Because his girlfriend didn't even come into the house. So what if he was inebriated and felt too comfortable saying something or doing something? You know, so much as a squeeze on the hand, you know, where you're just getting a little too fucking familiar with somebody's wife. Shanae, yeah, thank you. He's a professional canine handler and says no way. I mean, okay. You know, all due respect, that's great. And I appreciate the super chat, but all due respect, you know, they're going to get their own experts. And I mean, they're going to get their own experts, you know, to testify. They'll, you know, the defense is going to get their expert, and the prosecution is going to get their expert, you know, and I appreciate that your brother is a canine handler, but you know, that's one canine handler. All due respect, you know, he could absolutely be wrong. Right. Thank you, Mama Bear. I mean, he's doesn't make him necessarily an expert. I mean, is he studying the wounds? That when he busts a perp, you know, is he looking at the wounds after the fact? Well, the canine handlers do work with sleeves, but what I'm saying is I mean, is he a cop that has a canine do busts with him? And is he looking at the wounds of when they catch a suspect and that dog gets a hold of his arm? I mean, that totally looks like an animal attack. I mean, but why would they do that? You just give them to the paramedics and that's it. Okay, they train on it. That makes sense too. Yeah, but you're going to tell me, see, here's the thing. You're not going to sit here. Let me explain this here. Because do I believe that Karen left with a cocktail glass? Sure. I mean, sure. But you're not going to tell me that a cocktail glass did all of that. A broken cocktail glass did all of that. Like, is there an autopsy report made available? Because we're seeing the pictures of the autopsy report. Did they pick glass out of those wounds? Is there anything in the report saying that they picked glass out of those wounds? That I would love to know. Because they're trying to say that this is a cocktail glass that did this. That's what the prosecution's trying to say. That the cocktail glass that Karen took out of the bar, right? And then 4 months later, she bites 2 people after John dies. I mean, that's the whole reason you put the dog down. I'm not saying you should put the dog down. I'm saying that's the whole reason why people would do that, is put their dog down once it bites somebody, because they're going to keep biting people. So I mean, that's not, there's no way you're going to convince me that that is done by a broken cocktail glass, bro. Like, that's no. And in I have to know that in the autopsy report, if they didn't pick any glass out of those deep wounds, that's not a cocktail glass, bro. There's just no way. Yeah, there would be glass in the wounds. They'd be picking it out. They didn't take tissue samples, so they'd never even know. All right, since people asked for the last one and I skipped it, I'm going to do it now.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. 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 I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super.
Thank you, Shadene. Let's see. You're saying not saying it was glass, but they have to train on markings dogs leaves. And I know you're not saying it's glass. I know you're not saying that it's glass. I'm saying the prosecution is saying that it is. But they have to train on markings dogs leave in order to testify. I'm just bringing up reasonable doubt. No, that's fine. And I appreciate it. Seriously. But I'm saying that when they, I'm saying that when this goes to trial, the prosecution's going to have an expert come up and the defense is going to have an expert come up. But the prosecution has to know by now. The prosecution has to know by now that the cocktail glass theory is weak. It's just weak at best. Well, they never did it. They never did tissue samples, Electra. So the thing is there's also, this is a big conspiracy theory thing too, which makes it, it makes it worse in a way for Karen. Some might argue, right? Because what are you going to accuse the medical examiner of being in somebody's pocket or being in on it, being deliberately negligent? You know what I mean? And that stuff's getting thrown around. And if that stuff's not true, it's going to take weight. It's going to take the piss out of everything that people are saying. I'm thinking what I honestly believe is probably the most simple possible theory. Matt was jealous of the dynamic between his wife and John. Beat the shit out of him. And if that was a dog attack, the dog was protecting the member of the family who the dog is familiar with. Well, kill shot, yeah, that's one of the problems is they can't get the DNA from that. First of all, they can't find the dog. Second of all, they can't extract the DNA from his wound, I don't think. Sleuthy knows better. Again, I haven't gotten into the forensics of this case yet. You could pull up previous cases of the Commonwealth's ME medical examiner where she's changed her cause of death after speaking with investigators. Wow. Okay. Okay. So basically, if I do a deep dive into this medical examiner, which we're not going to do in this stream because this is more just about the McCabe's here. Right. Brian Albert sold the house, got rid of the dog. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing is where I'm at right now. I think that Karen Reed is going to skate. I think she's going to skate from this. Absolutely. I don't think that there's a jury in the world that is going to convict her. Simply because all you have to do is present a reasonable doubt. I mean, that's all you have to do. The problem, though, is I'm also scared that John O'Keefe is not going to get justice because somebody fucking killed him. Somebody killed him. But I don't think that based on hold on, let me pull this up one more time. What's his name? I just can't remember his last name. Nagel. Okay, so based on Ryan Nagel's statement, I don't think that based on the fact that Ryan Nagel says that the car was not damaged in any way, shape, or form. He could see the rear lights all illuminated because she had her foot on the brake when she was parked in the area where she would have been parked after she had run him over, after she would run John over. And if John wasn't in the car, if John was not in the car with her, that would mean that she had already either run him over or he went into the house. And since there was no damage to the taillight, then that would tell me that he was inside the house. Right. I mean, yeah, the Google searches are interesting. Again, now Jennifer also deleted 2 screenshots within a minute of the internet search for how long does it take to die in the cold. Within the span of a minute or just over a minute. A minute and 3 seconds to be exact. So within a minute and 3 seconds, she deletes 2 screenshots. Why? What were those screenshots? What were the screenshots, and why did she Google how long does it take to die in the cold? And why did Nicole lie? Why did Nicole lie about sleeping through all of the commotion? Because she absolutely lied about that. There's no doubt in my mind that she's lying. Now, if I had to guess, again, that enforces my theory that this was a McCabe thing and not an Albert thing. Okay? Because that tells me, because Jennifer McCabe is fighting to not have to testify, right? Brian Albert is motioning to where he's fighting the subpoena to where they search his phone, the data on his phone. Why wouldn't he just be willing to cooperate? It doesn't make sense. But what Nicole lying about this indicates to me is something happened with the McCabe's and John O'Keefe, and Nicole is like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to have to testify in court. I don't want to have to talk to the cops. I don't want anything to fucking do with this. If I had to guess what took place on those phone calls while she said she was asleep, but which she answered, I'd say those 9 and 7 second long calls is, listen, I don't want to fucking know. That shit's got nothing to do with me. I don't want to fucking know. You deal with it. You deal with it. I'm staying right here in my bedroom. I'm not fucking moving. That's what I'm saying. Nicole checked out. Nicole was like, I don't think she's, I mean, I think she knows what's going on, but I don't think she's a witness to anything necessarily. I mean, I'm not getting the impression that this was like some dirty cop gangland beating. Like the theory that maybe well, that's the thing, white paint, sorry. You're saying you like my theory, but Matt seems like a pussy. Only a pussy would get so fucking jealous. Secure men, that doesn't happen. The biggest pussies are the jealous guys are always pussies. Always. Always, always. The jealousy is merely a symptom of insecurity. Like, it's simple. Jealousy and possessiveness are merely symptoms of insecurity, people. This is a fact. Yeah, like abusive men who beat up on their women, they don't want to fight men. They beat up on women because they're pussies. They don't want to fight men. And I'm saying, with what we know, because we're all trying to rack our brains trying to figure out what the motive would be. Why, if somebody in that house killed John O'Keefe, beat him to death, as everybody's theorizing, what would be the motive? The only person that seems to have the motive would be a possible motive, even a feasible motive would be Matt McCabe. Yeah, like, dude, you know what I mean? Sam B, that's what I'm talking about. Always pussies, dude. Like, like, think about, I mean, Colin the nephew, what's the motive? What's the motive with Colin? I don't understand what the motive would be with Colin. Colin didn't like John, okay? But what's the story with Colin? That I don't know. Okay. So John called the cops allegedly on Colin's drug activity. Colin sold drugs. Okay. But I don't think he'd be stupid enough to attack a cop in his brother or in his uncle's house who is a cop. I don't think they'd all just gang up and beat him up. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, it just, yeah. I so far with what I know so far, now my mind might change because I'm still discovering things about this case. I'm just saying the way that I feel so far, that is what makes the most sense to me. What makes the most sense to me is that Matt was an insecure douchebag because he couldn't handle the fact that, or at least was picturing in his mind that they were playing house. That this dude was basically playing house with his wife. Yeah, I don't know enough about the judge either. Yeah, there's a lot of people here, man. Like, there's just a lot of people here. There's just, and a lot of these people are just involved in the in the legality of the case, you know. But and I'm reading some of the I'm reading some of the like the who's who here in Sleuthy Goosey's template that she made. And I'm seeing this dude named Tim Albert. And his nickname is the Fredo, the Fredo of the family, the nobody of the family. And he told Turtle Boy that they were going to bury his body at Auntie Bev's seaside cottage, who's the judge. So, is she listed on here? Okay, yeah, Beverly Canone, judge. Norfolk County Superior Court judge won't get off Karen's case, even though time's up. But is she related? Is she related to the Alberts in some way? All right. Well, Sleuthy Goosey, the chat is telling you need to revise your who's who here. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Yeah, Tim Albert. Isn't that what I said? Tim Albert, the Fredo of the family. Isn't that what I said? I was reading it. I don't know if the judge is the aunt. I don't think the judge is the aunt. Nobody's confirming that. They're just calling her Auntie Bev. Her AKA is Auntie Bev. No relation. Okay. Remember, guys, I'm learning this as a lot of you are. And know the difference between me asking questions and making statements. I don't want to spread any misinformation here. I'm asking questions. If I ask, is there any relation? That means it's a question and I don't know. So don't go going, oh my God, the judge is related to the Alberts. I asked if the judge was related to the Alberts. I just got confirmation that she's not. Oh, you're saying, okay. It says here that it's Tim. All right. Oh, yeah. I read this wrong. Sean's the one who said that to Turtle Boy. Tim is the Fredo nobody of the family. Two different people. I read that wrong. That's my fault. That's my fault. No. Oh, you just fixed it. Okay. Then I wasn't crazy. All right. Wow. This is fucking crazy. What a mess. Oh shit, look, a spider. Got him. Yeah, this is a lot like the Murdochs here, except I mean, there's only one person dead, um, that we know of, but now, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get that there's the Colin kid, but that's weak, man. To me, that's weak. Do we know if he was at that party? Yeah, no. And Sleuthy Goosey, I really appreciate that. You share this because this is, and I shared this with with another creator who's a friend of mine. I hope that's okay. Based on your comment there, I'm sure it is. But she was like, "Holy shit!" Or I think it was "Holy hell," is what her words were. So yeah. But I was, I was texting her about this, and I was like, I wanted to be like, okay, now open your Karen Reed textbook to, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah. So I think she's gonna find that quite handy. And I'm sure she'll give you credit for it if she finds it all to be credible, because she has her own like investigators at this point. Like she's next level. So she has like her own researchers who do things, not investigators but researchers. And like she pays them. So yeah, no, because this is great. Like if I want to find a document, I could find anything here. But the problem is like I'm not going to really see much. I'm, like as far as the case itself goes, as far as the legality of it all, I'm really bad with court documents because I'll read this stuff and I can't help but sit here and be like, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what that means exactly. If I had to guess this, and I'm usually kind of pretty good about it. Sometimes I have an attorney in my chat who's actually really well versed, and she'll be like, "No, you're doing good," and then it validates me, and I don't feel so stupid. But yeah, I would imagine the documents are definitely locked up tight. Because the thing is there's plenty of CCTV footage that we're hearing about. We just don't have access to it. There's plenty of surveillance footage, things of that nature that is out there, but we don't have access to it. I guess they're listed in the police reports, but time is it 9? Yeah, it's gonna be a fun night because I'm actually gonna be going live again. I mean, I'll stay on and hang out a little while longer, but I'm doing a completely different live, unrelated, at 10:30 Eastern. Yeah, so I have a lot of what I do is I call out YouTubers who do real irresponsible speculations and who actually do, really shitty things and further victimize victims in these cases and trash talk victims and then I just make fun of them basically. And there's somebody who I've been doing this for a long time who's actually been booted off of YouTube not once but twice, and and now she has no other choice but to do all of her live streams because she can't get super chats and she can't get memberships, and and she can't even stream on YouTube anymore, so she has no other platform but Patreon to work through. And so she just posted, so now I just troll her, and so everything that she does on Patreon, I just download it, I just record it, and then I go over it, or I actually have someone else do it for me, and then and then I just stream it and make fun of her, and basically give everyone the opportunity who wants to just hate on her and doesn't want to pay for her Patreon. Well, I just give them the opportunity to watch it anyway, and then I drag her, and it's fun. Old canceled Karen. So I'm going to be doing that. No, not BHB. BHB doesn't put everything behind a paywall. But canceled Karen likes to put her shit behind a paywall. And I won't be surprised if, and she also likes to do things like she just likes to go the opposition of what everybody else is thinking or saying. And I will not at all be surprised if she starts talking about this case and starts dragging down and saying that Karen Reed is absolutely guilty and blah, 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 and just going the opposition, fuck the evidence, blah, blah, blah. And I really hope she does. Like, oh man, it's like Christmas coming early if she does that. Yes, we are talking about canceled Karen. Yeah, no, I actually covered that, Sleuthy Goosey. I actually she did that. She said the live is still up where I went over the what was it? Kiwi Farms. She was sending foot pics to people on Kiwi Farms in order to get a dox. I mean, how do you not make fun of that? Yeah, no, I did a whole stream on it. I did a whole stream on it. Yeah, she's one of my favorite people to fuck with. No, I mean, I don't think I don't think that. I mean, I would have heard something. I think if SF Investigates was suing Bullhorn Betty, I would know about it. I'd hear about it, and I haven't heard anything about it. And that would be a bad look on him, if I'm being honest. I mean, if he's so engaged right now in finding certain missing people, why would he have time to file a lawsuit? You know, I mean, unless he hired a lawyer just to do it for him, which is what most people do. But I mean, he's not going to get anything. It just wouldn't make sense. Like, I'd never file a lawsuit against Bullhorn Betty because there's no. So wait, so Burnt Toast just went over. So SF is suing BHB, or he's not suing BHB? Yeah, Annie is okay. Yeah, this is going to be at 10:30 tonight. Oh, maybe he's okay, maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's threatening the lawsuit and just hasn't. And hold on a second. Did I not? Give me 1 second here. Okay, no. I wanted to make sure Burden had a wrench. Right. I mean, dude, you know, I gotta be honest, man. You know, in hindsight, like after all of the bullshit that has taken place, like in the drama community and everything, you know, and even my involvement in that shit, like when I step back outside of it and I look into it, which is basically what I've done, yeah, I mean, if he is stepping back in Layla's case, because Chloe's on it, Chloe's the primary on that, so it makes sense. Burden of proof. Chloe's the primary on that case. He's just helping her. So, and I'm in that group, and he's trying to control things as best as he can, but I haven't followed his Twitter yet. In a minute, maybe he has something on his Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, there's just stuff about other cases that he's talking about. That's all I'm seeing. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll show you. Like, this is all these are just all cases, stuff on cases that he's working on. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he did, but I just don't see him having the time. But like I said, he could just hire a lawyer and they handle it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to stop him from looking for a missing person. Yeah, but I'm not seeing anything on his Twitter that's saying anything about suing BHB. So, No, I mean, and burnt toast is extremely thorough. So I have no doubt that where she's getting that from is probably a reliable source. I would hope so. I've never known her to be someone who even dabbles in misinformation. So yeah, a C and D sounds more plausible. Now, I mean, dude, whatever, Katie May. I've been live for almost 2 hours, and this is only the second cigarette I've lit up. I mean, anybody who smokes at all smokes too much. I mean, it's a disgusting habit, and I wish I didn't, but it's a habit that I keep pretty well under control considering how long I've been smoking. But you know, nobody likes a quitter, guys. Oh man, no. I think it just makes anybody look fucking gross. I just can't help it. Like, I get so fucking nervous up here sometimes, and then I have to smoke. Yeah, there's no way I'm quitting right now. There's no way I'm quitting right now. Like, I have to get my life like level. And while I'm doing that, there's just no fucking way. I knew that would happen, Piper. See, I never got into the vaping. You know, when it first came out, everybody was like, oh, well, it's great. It's the alternative to smoke. And I'm like, why do I die of coughing whenever I take the slightest drag off of a fucking vape? Like, it can't be good for you. It can't be good for you. And then I was also saying it hasn't been around long enough to know what the after effects are. Now it has. So but as soon as everybody started doing it, I was like, what the fuck? The only thing that I ever vape is weed. And, you know, I have my little pen, but I don't have another cartridge right now. That one's empty. I have to re-up, but that's the only thing that I ever vape. But I mean, I hit that like 2 times and I'm good. You know what I mean? But it's ridiculous, man. You know, like, I mean, whether you're blowing smoke in my face or fucking cinnamon toast crunch steam, it's obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, I it's obnoxious either way. I don't want that shit. Like, so I mean, like, yeah, this whole what I was saying before, you know, stepping out of the whole YouTube drama that's been going on with everybody, like saying what I had to say and then just stepping away from it. And, you know, I gotta say, like, this lawsuit bullshit, it's so stupid. Like, it really is. Like Betty filing it and then the countersuing and then you know what I mean? Like, all it is people go in real life on each other. And I really hope the judge sees right through it. And because because I really think that's what's going on. I think that the judge is looking at both parties like you both are fucking idiots, and this is what you're using the law for, to hurt each other and get back at each other because you guys can't handle what each other say about each other on YouTube. This is the stupidest shit ever. Like, I mean, like, if I had to pick, and I hope who wins, Queen Bee, of course, because she should have never filed it in the first place. Like, Bull and Britty should have never filed a lawsuit in the first place. And I don't blame her for countersuing because it was frivolous in the first place. It was ridiculous. But I mean, in hindsight, when you look at it from an outside perspective and use your common sense, it's fucking dumb. It is a court of law being used by two fucking idiots on YouTube trying to hurt each other. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's fucking dumb. Like, so my hope, really, honestly, my hope out of all of this is that the judge makes an example out of both of them. Just to set the record straight. Like, this is not what you fucking do. Suck it up and handle. I mean, you make money off of talking shit about people. Handle it. Somebody's going to fucking talk shit about you when you do that. Handle it. Deal with it. Just fucking deal with it. Don't bring the fucking court of law into your bullshit. Into your fucking sewing circle bullshit. It's pathetic. Seriously fucking pathetic. Totally, Melissa Bell. It's so dumb. Like, it's so fucking dumb. I'm gonna sue you because you said something mean about me. I'm gonna sue you. You said something mean about me or mean. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna countersue you, so fuck you. Fucking fuck shit. Like, people are fucking dumb. You're both fucking dumb. Both of you. Seriously. Like, I hope that judge just fucking totally just goes, fuck you both. Now you both gotta pay the court. Like, I mean, it's a shit show. It's fun to watch. Like, I was watching Blank Screen earlier, and like, how stupid are you that you're going to file a lawsuit and then go live and throw a fucking hissy fit about what happened in court? You should not be discussing your case with anyone, much less the public. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bullhorn Betty, you dummy. And then at the same time, I wouldn't expect anything less. Like, it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious that she thinks that that's a good idea. I'm going to go live and talk about what happened in court during the lawsuit that I filed. Bro, smart thinking. And this meant okay, not white power. I didn't throw this up the way that Bullhorn Betty throws it up. Just saying, just to be clear. Right. Well, Sleuthy Goosey. It's her. Bullhorn Betty's filed a lawsuit herself. She's her own lawyer. She is pro se, as it were, and feels like she knows the law so well. And she's so good at the law that she thinks that it's a good idea to talk about it all over YouTube. Oh my God. Yeah, actually, I am going to wrap this up. If you guys find that shit entertaining, which I actually do, go over to Burnt Toast Live right now and check it out, because Burnt Toast is going to go over it, and she's pretty hilarious. So check out Burnt Toast covering it. We may or may not share the same opinions about the entire thing altogether, but she does a good job covering it, that's for sure, to say the least. But yeah, I'm going to take a little break before I come back on in about an hour and 10 minutes. And then we're gonna drag canceled Karen We're gonna have some fun. But I love you guys. Wrap this up, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.